Hello friends, welcome to day 4 of your yoga journey. Today we're focusing on hip openers, just introducing some of my favorite hip opening poses. This is one of my favorite aspects of yoga because before I started regularly practicing yoga, I had no idea how much tension and trauma and stress and emotions that we store in our hips. So I do want to, not like trigger warning, but kind of, my first time doing a lot of hip opening poses, I had a lot of emotions come up and come out, and I just wanted to share that, wanted to let you know that you may experience something similar today, maybe not, but just want to welcome you and want you to welcome any feelings that come in today's practice. But yeah, we're in a judgment-free zone. We are in a safe place. I invite you to stay present. And yeah, so for today's class, I have a blanket, just for cushion. It's not required, but I like it for just some extra cushion, relaxation, extra support. So feel free to pause this video, go grab a thin blanket, fold it up like so, or you can also grab a pillow or a couple pillows. But yeah, okay, but we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll get grounded in child's pose today. So I'll take my blanket here on my mat to rest under my knees. I'll be taking a wide-legged child's pose. Find whatever variation, use whatever props to help you get comfy and settled in. And we'll go ahead and take a few rounds of breath here. If you like to set an intention, now would be a great time to do so. Noticing how you feel at the start of today's practice. Noticing how the hips feel. Starting to notice the breath get a little longer on the inhales. Longer on the exhales. Always coming to our breath. Taking one more deep breath here. And deep exhale. Okay, and gently come up, walk those fingertips towards you. And our first hip opener is lizard, so just like a low lunge, but we're going to take our front foot out a little wider. So I like to use the blanket here for support under my back knee. So we'll start on the right side, your right leg forward, take it out wide. I take mine out to the edge of the mat, but again, find your lizard pose, find your pose that feels good. You can set that back knee on that blanket or a pillow. Just let the hips sink in here. So you may be feeling an intense stretch in your right hip flexor. Careful not to let the knee splay open too much. That is another pose for the future if you want to try it, but for today, let's try to keep the hips square as we sink the hips in. You can also grab pillows here to place under your hip for support. You can stay here on the palms or come down to the forearms. Breathing deeply into that hip flexor. Staying in these poses for as long as you'd like to. Feel free to pause this video. But I'll take one more breath here in this pose. And slowly walk your way out of it, bringing that left knee back to meet the left, or the right knee back, and then flipping sides, sending the right why can't I? The left foot up to the outer edge of your mat for a wider stance, resting the back knee on a pillow or a blanket if that feels good. If you don't have these things with you today, you can also fold your mat. Well, it's not a very good one, but you can double up your mat, fold your mat in for support under your knee if you don't have any props today. So sinking into lizard on this side, noticing how it feels different. We don't move our body the exact same way. Our bodies don't hold things in the exact same way. So noticing how, like for me on this side, way tighter. So I am not going to go down to my forearms, but feel free to go down on your forearms if you'd like. You can also bring a block underneath to help you bring the mat to you if this is too deep right here. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. And then gently coming out of it with control, we'll come to a seat. We'll find butterfly pose. So if you want to use your blanket here, you can sit your hips up on your blanket. Help bring your hips a little higher. We'll bring the soles of the feet to touch. So your stance here or your distance from feet to groin depends on where you're feeling today, where you want your stretch, how deep you want your stretch. So find that nice sweet spot and find your butterfly pose. So knees are naturally splaying open, weighing down towards the mat, and you can gently begin to fold over the feet, but keeping that nice straight spine. So I think it's Yoga with Adrienne. When I was first learning, she has this comparison of like you're looking over into a pond and you're just looking over at your reflection. Hey, you know? So we're not just like hunching over and folding, we're moving with intention, mindful movement here, keeping the shoulder blades drawn down and back, long, nice spine, feeling the stretch in our inner thighs. Not forgetting to breathe. Maybe noticing how a deeper breath can help you get deeper into your pose. And gently, when you're ready, pressing up out. Now we'll move into pigeon pose. This can be a very intense hip stretch for the outer hip. I like to use a blanket here under my hip, so I'm going to fold mine up a little bit taller. But from here, find a position where your right shin is either parallel to the front edge of the mat, or you can bring it in as far as you need to. And then we're going to take that left leg out long, hips nice and square. And then I like to use this pillow or blanket for support under that right hip, just to make sure that we're not opening too much to the left. We're staying nice and square this way. So here, maybe we're sitting up nice and tall. Maybe we walk those hands out further as we fold over that foot, that bent knee. It's a great restorative pose. You can even grab a bunch of pillows and stack them right in front of you and just hug over them. Breathing deeply here. Taking any modifications that we need to. And gently coming back up, and we'll slowly take it to the other side. So left foot is out in front, shin parallel or foot bent in towards the groin. I'm using a blanket under my left hip to help me square the hips. Coming onto the top of the back foot, leg nice and straight. This side is little tighter, so I'm going to bring my knee in a little more, just finding that position, hips square, and then folding. You can come all the way down to the forearms. You can bring your head to the mat or a pillow. Just want to make sure our hips are nice and square. We're not coming too open this way. Really pressing this hip down towards the mat. And then from here, we're going to find a nice yogi squat. So come up to a forward fold, however you want to get there. From a forward fold, we'll take our feet out a little bit wider, toes splayed out slightly. And then using the hands, find your squat as you come down into a seat. If this is too much for you, maybe try lifting the heels. Maybe if your heels have trouble coming down to the mat. And if all of this is way too much, find yourself into a nice seat and trying to place those feet onto the mat. So any variation of our yogi squat today, you can place your hands at heart center and use those elbows to press those knees open wider to help you get a deeper stretch. Breathing here. And then we'll come down to a seat and find our way on our backs. Going into a happy baby. So here, bring both feet in, reach for them, knees bending in towards the armpit. And we just pull the feet in. Feeling intent, feeling a stretch in the hip flexors as we're plugging those hips into their sockets. Maybe you rock gently side to side, getting a nice back massage. If this is too intense, you can do one leg at a time, so you can send one leg out long. You can also bring your blanket under your knee for support. Whatever happy baby you're in today. And then we'll bring our feet back to the mat, soles of the feet together, knees splaying out wide for a reclined butterfly. Taking a few deep breaths here. Noticing how the hips are feeling. So you can stay here for your Shavasana, or you can take your legs out long. Relaxing the ankles, letting the feet naturally splay out. Palms facing the sky. Releasing any tension, relaxing the jaw and the eyebrows, letting the eyes come to a close. Appreciating your time today, noticing how you're feeling, recognizing any emotions or anything that might have came up today, meeting them with grace and gratitude. And then we'll begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, gently bring our awareness back to the body. Flutter the eyelids open. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead, point the toes. And then exhale, release, let it all sink back in. And then slowly make your way back up to a seat, however that looks for you today. Thank you all so much. I hope you're all feeling nice and calm and relaxed, appreciating any sensations you might be feeling. And I encourage you to take a sense of calmness throughout you for the rest of your day. And I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. And tomorrow we're focusing on balance and coordination, so working on more stability, introducing some nice fun balancing poses, and yeah, I can't wait. I will see you all tomorrow and have a great rest of your day. Bye.